You already know JDM culture gave us legends like the Supra RX-7 and Skyline. But today, we're talking about the turbocharged heroes that nobody seems to mention. These are the cars that can pull up next to you, look totally unassuming, and then leave you wondering what just happened when the boost kicks in. We're going through 7 underrated turbo JDM cars you've probably never even heard of, and by the end, you'll want to hunt them all down before prices explode. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with something a little left field, the Mitsubishi FTO GPX. Most people picture the FTO as a small front-wheel drive 90s coupe with a high-revving, naturally aspirated engine. But here's the twist. Japan got a special turbocharged version that almost nobody outside the country has ever seen. Under the hood, it's packing a 2.0L V6 MIVEC turbo, pushing around 280 horsepower straight from the factory. Power goes to the front wheels through a lightweight chassis, making it quick on its feet with 0 to 60 times in the low 6-second range. Think of it as Mitsubishi's secret weapon against the Honda Prelude and Toyota Celica, but with a factory turbo V6 that's just begging for mods. Throw on a boost controller and a free-flowing exhaust, and you're well past stock numbers without breaking a sweat. So why is it underrated? Because the FTO never made it to the US market, and the turbo variant is even more elusive. Most people have never seen one in person, which makes it the perfect weight. What is that car at a meet? Right now, clean imports are floating around $8,000 to $12,000 depending on condition, but that won't stay the case for long. The Legacy is known as Subaru's comfy family sedan, but the B4 RSK is not your dad's grocery getter. This thing hides a twin-turbo 2.0L EJ20 engine under the hood, pumping out around 280 horsepower, the same gentleman's agreement figure as the WRX STI of its era. With AWD traction, a slick 5-speed manual, and those sequential turbos keeping boost on tap, it can launch hard and pull through the rev range without lag. In the right hands, it's a serious sleeper, especially since most people will write it off as just another Subaru sedan. The B4 RSK stayed in Japan, meaning you'll rarely see one on the streets anywhere else. And because they're overshadowed by the WRX and STI, you can still find clean examples for $7,000 to $10,000 imported. Here's where things get spicy. The Nissan Pulsar GTI-R. This little hatchback was built for Group A rally homologation, and it's basically a road-legal boost rocket. Under the hood, a 2.0L SR20 turbocharged inline-4, pushing about 227 horsepower to all 4 wheels. We're talking about a car that weighs just over a ton, with aggressive gearing and rally DNA baked in. The result? From 0 to 60 time in the mid-5-second range, all while looking like something your neighbor's grandma might drive until she hits boost. The GTIR is underrated because it's been overshadowed by rally icons like the Evo and WRX, but in reality, this thing can embarrass much newer cars on a twisty backroad. Prices around $12,000 to $15,000 for a solid import and climbing. Mazda doesn't get enough credit in the JDM turbo game outside of the RX-7, and the Familia GT-R is proof. Built for Group A rally as well, this hatchback runs a 1.8L turbocharged BPD engine, making about 210 horsepower stock, but in a car that barely tips the scales at 2,500 pounds. That power-to-weight ratio makes it feel way faster than the numbers suggest. Add AWD rally-tuned suspension and classic 90s boxy hatch looks, and you've got a deadly little package. The reason it's underrated, almost nobody outside Japan even knows it exists, and it's one of the rarest turbo hatches of the era. Expect to pay $10,000 to $13,000 for one in good shape, if you can even find one. What if I told you Toyota made a turbocharged wagon with Celica GT4 DNA? That's the Caldina GTT. Under the hood is the legendary 3S GTE Turbo Inline 4, making about 260 horsepower paired with AWD for maximum grip. This thing can haul groceries in the morning and gap sports cars in the afternoon, literally. It's roomy, practical, and shockingly quick for something that looks like a family hauler. It's underrated because it was never sold outside Japan, and Toyota didn't market it as a performance car, which means people overlook it. Imports are still hovering in the $8,000 to $11,000 range, but with the 3S GTE tuning potential is huge. This one's a legend for those who know the Stagea 260 RS Autek. Think of it as a Skyline GTR in wagon form. It's got the RB26D twin-turbo inline-6 AWD and a 5-speed manual, basically an R33 GTR drivetrain in a stealth wagon body. With 280 horsepower stock and endless tuning potential, the 260 RS can be a 600-plus horsepower monster, while still carrying the family and luggage. And the best part, to the untrained eye, it's just another wagon. Because they were hand-built by Autek, in limited numbers, finding one is tough. Expect prices from $25,000 to $35,000, depending on condition. But if you want the ultimate JDM sleeper, this is it. Before the Lancer Evolution became Mitsubishi's poster child for rally dominance, there was the Galant VR4, the car that set the stage for everything the Evo would later become. Launched in the late 80s, the VR4 wasn't just another sedan with a turbo. It was Mitsubishi's original Group A Rally homologation special, designed to take on the World Rally Championship. Under the hood, you've got the legendary 4G63 turbocharged inline-4, the same iron block high-boost friendly engine that would go on to power the first 10 generations of the Evo. In the VR4, it was paired with a full-time AWD system and a 4-wheel steering setup, making it ridiculously agile for a 4-door. Back in the day, it was a technological showcase, ABS limited slip differentials, and a rally-bred suspension tuned to handle dirt, tarmac, and snow with equal confidence. Power output was around 240 horsepower, but the way it put that power down was the real magic. The VR4 could launch hard, claw its way through corners with insane grip, and keep pulling even in sketchy weather conditions. To the average driver, it looked like a respectable family sedan, but line up against one at a stoplight in the early 90s, and you were in for a very bad surprise. So why is it underrated? Simple. The Lancer Evolution arrived and completely stole the spotlight, leaving the VR4 as a forgotten hero. Even hardcore JDM fans sometimes forget that the Galant was Mitsubishi's first AWD turbo performance sedan. Today, they're a bargain sleeper. Clean examples can still be found for $6,000 to $9,000, which is crazy when you think about the rally pedigree, tuning potential, and rarity. In the right hands, a VR4 can be built into a street or track weapon that will make modern performance cars sweat, all while you cruise around looking like a respectable dad in the school pickup lane. And there you have it, 7 turbocharged JDM cars that almost no one talks about, but absolutely deserve a spot on your radar. Which one would you daily? And which one would you turn into your ultimate sleeper build? Drop it in the comments. And let's see which underrated beast gets the most love.